Hello and welcome to another episode of What Travis Says. My name is Travis. Let's talk about Doctor Who. More specifically, let's talk about the last 2 episodes of Season 10. The next 2 episodes are the final episodes in Season 10, a multi-master story which has never been done on screen before. The 2-episode arc will also feature the Mondasian Cybermen, which we talked about months ago. And whether or not it's pulled off or it falls apart, it's going to be a massive 2-episode arc. 1, this is what we've been building up to the entire season. This is the culmination of the Vault storyline. 2, we're getting John Sim back as the Master through, I'm assuming, some wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey reasoning. And 3, the Mondasian Cybermen are returning to the show, which is a huge deal. However, what if there's more going on than what we're being told? Sure, we're getting Missy Master and Mondas, but what if there's more to the story? Another villain, the tying up of loose ends. Yeah, I know, I'm saying what if during a season where I feel some of my speculation was better than what we got in some of the episodes. And I just keep trying to find some saving grace to help tie this season together even better. So take this with a huge grain of salt because it's speculation with no real evidence to help back it up at all. But it comes back to something that I said way back during my Vault video, the return of Omega. Omega, or Omega, depending on your dialect, was a co-founder of the Time Lord Society from way back when. He actually had a hand in giving the Time Lords the ability to time travel. Pause for old school Whovians who get the joke. Believing that he should have been a god, his mind became so twisted that he was a threat to the universe. He was the only person to ever survive living in the antimatter universe and ended up becoming its ruler. Though living in the antimatter realm only caused his consciousness to survive. He lost his body, which ended up driving him even more insane. Omega has had interactions with the Doctor in the past, most notably in the 3 Doctors and in Arc of Infinity. In the 3 Doctors, Omega was previously thought to have died, but then the Time Lords started losing their power through a black hole. The Doctors investigate and find Omega, who wants the Doctor to take his place so he can escape. That doesn't happen. The Doctors give Omega his freedom, however, by destroying the antimatter universe. Then, in Arc of Infinity, Omega had somehow survived. He's trying to escape again, of course, and to escape, he wants to bond with the Doctor because, sure. The Time Lords actually attempt to kill the Doctor to keep Omega from escaping, but there is a traitor in their midst. The Time Lords fail to execute the Doctor, and Omega escapes in the Doctor's body. But not actually in the Doctor's body. There are 2 Peter Davisons running around. He does a lot of running from the Doctor, but then in the end, his body just starts bursting apart at the seams. Omega has appeared in the comics and the radio dramas, but I just wanted to touch on his 2 most notable appearances. So after all of that, why am I talking about Omega when I should be talking about the Mondasian Cybermen, or the Master, or Missy? Omega is a great villain for the Doctor, and he hasn't yet appeared in the modern series, and I feel like bringing him back would be the perfect note for Stephen Moffat to go out on. What if, instead of just the Mondasian Cybermen, the monks are still in the shadows pulling some strings? But the monks aren't actually the monks. We don't know their true form, but what if the monks end up being Time Lords? Now hear me out. In the 1976 episode The Deadly Assassin, the Master is in his 13th form, and he does not look pretty. He looks almost exactly like one of those withered monks. And as we talked about before, Omega was only able to escape the antimatter universe, albeit for a very short time, by inhabiting a body of someone else who exists. Could Omega have used Time Lord bodies in order to actually escape the antimatter realm and through consent take over the universe? But then, how would the Mondasian Cybermen play into all of this if Omega is running amok with the monks? Well, as we saw in Arc of Infinity, Omega's body, his fake Doctor body, can't last for very long without seemingly being split apart at an atomic level. What if Omega is able to secure the process for the monks to exist for a period of time, but then after a while, the bodies will need to be upgraded? Okay, deep down I know that when Omega returns, they have to build that over a few episodes or even an entire season. Showing him meddle with time here, his involvement there. He would be like the Doctor Who's version of the MCU's Thanos. But imagine if Omega has been there this whole time. He's behind the reality bomb. He's behind the Daleks returning over and over. He's behind the silence. He's behind the crack in space and time. What if every time the Doctor has landed the TARDIS somewhere in the past or the future and something has been off or wrong or incorrect, What if that was Omega meddling with time? Sure, that would seem incredibly contrived, but I don't think it's a matter of if Omega is going to return, but when. Even if this is completely wrong and Omega isn't even referenced in this entire season, I still want to believe that there's some connection between Sim's master and the monks. I mean, Sim's master wanted people to like him. He liked being liked. He was charismatic enough to become the prime minister. The monks want consent. Either way, we're getting the first on-screen multi-master story in the show's history, and I am super excited. In the comments down below, let me know your thoughts on how an epic baddie like Omega should return to the show in fantastical fashion. But if Omega isn't your cup of tea, which classic character have we not seen in the modern series that you want to see return? It could be a villain, it could be a character, it could be somebody long dead, because this is a show about time travel. We could get them back somehow. As always, my name is Travis. Thank you for listening to what I have to say, and you will see me on Monday.